Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the second week of camp. My name is Patricia, and I wanted to show you my Captain Marvel cup because it's Marvel Monday. There's also this quote I wanted to share with you. It's from this guy named Paul, who said, "Whatever is true, honorable, right, pure, lovely, and admirable, think about these things." Paul was a guy who worked really hard to take care of other people. It takes a lot of courage for someone like Paul to show goodness to as many people as he possibly can. But speaking of goodness and courage, I may have given away a little bit of the lesson. Oops. Anyway, today, if you're going around and you have a Marvel cape or costume or t-shirt or anything along those lines, feel free to show us on our Facebook at Doxa Daystar. You can use the hashtag Doxa Daystar, and you can go on Instagram and tag us at Doxa Daystar. Well, that's all for me, but now we're going to hear the story of the first flute.
Hey everyone, it's Cynthia again, and welcome back to Daystar's Corner. I hope you're ready for another exciting week of camp. I know I am. Today we'll be reading a book called The First Flute. This seems like it's going to be a very interesting read. Now,
boom shakalaka, go!
The First Flute. Names are important. Names should be respected. They should be valued. They should be honored. When a name is given to an adult, it is often given based on the life that person has lived. That name is a statement about the person he or she has become. When a name is given to a child, it foretells what kind of person that child will become. If a child is given the name "He who is kind to strangers," that child is destined to live a life of kindness. I know this to be true because I once knew a man who as a child was given that name. Many winters past, there lived a young man who had been given the name Dancing Raven. Dancing Raven lived on the plains east of here, somewhere between the rising sun and the dark, rolling hills. There was nothing remarkable about where he lived. A shady village next to a rambling brook, foraging ponies, scattered smoking fires. However, there was something special about Dancing Raven. He was a dancer. He was the best and the most renowned dancer among all nations. From the day of his naming ceremony, Dancing Raven lived to dance. As he and the other young men were taught to hunt and trap, Dancing Raven learned quickly, but he preferred dancing. When he and the other young men were taught to race, shoot, and wrestle, Dancing Raven excelled, but he preferred dancing. Though he knew the prairies, mountains, and the skies better than any other, Dancing Raven's heart was not in tracking, it was in dancing. Dancing Raven was wise and courageous and was often asked to lead the raiding party. Yet pride and success did not deter him from his desire to dance. Dancing Raven was often called upon to lead in the buffalo hunt, yet his heart was in the dance. It was said that Dancing Raven was born with a hand drum for a heart and the song of a meadowlark as his spirit guardian. As so often happens on one's journey through life, the young man Dancing Raven fell in love. When he had seen 19 winters, he asked for the hand of the young woman of his dreams. He asked, but the father, their chief, refused. "What can you offer my daughter?" the respected elder asked. "What do you have to offer that has any worth or value? Dancing will not feed my daughter, nor will it feed my grandchildren." Struggling to conceal his tears, Dancing Raven made off for the comfort of the distant sacred hills. These hills were said to be sacred because they were the home of the forest elder, Grandfather Cedar. Though Grandfather Cedar had been ravaged by lightning and bore mostly bare and brittle branches, he stood tall and strong and was very much alive. Countless ceremonies had been held at his feet. Many important chiefs had made their final journeys from that sacred ground. As he labored on his journey, the shattered youth stopped repeatedly to sing his prayer to Creator. "Through song, dance, and tobacco, I give you thanks, Great Spirit. I ask only for your guidance. Please help me be strong. Show me the path to love. Help me, for I am weak and pitiful." His song was interrupted by a loud hammering that came from the hills. Sensing this might be the answer to his prayer, Dancing Raven raced towards the source of the sound. He soon found himself in the clearing that was Grandfather Cedar's home. There, high up on Grandfather Cedar, Woodpecker sat hammering on a hollow branch. As Dancing Raven watched, the tapping stopped. A gentle breeze meandered into the hollow of the branch, and from it came the most beautiful song he had ever heard. As he listened, the heavy rolling clouds overhead darkened, and a bolt of lightning shot toward the majestic tree. The treetop shattered, and the branch upon which Woodpecker had been perching came crashing into the earth right at Dancing Raven's feet. The insightful youth immediately recognized the gift for what it was. He reached into his pouch and withdrew a handful of tobacco that he placed on the ground. Dancing Raven quickly took his gift from Grandfather Cedar to a high ridge, raised it to his lips, and imitated the song he had just heard, the song he had just been given. With that song in his heart, Dancing Raven hurried back to the lodge for his love. He found her there and played for her. She listened, as did her father and the rest of their village. Word of Grandfather Cedar's gift quickly spread across the plains. Never before had a wedding attracted as many guests. Never before had a couple received as many gifts. And never before was a story shared by so many across so many miles. The end. Can you believe that just because he had a different talent that they thought it wasn't important? What? That's ridiculous. I'm so glad that Dancing Raven stayed true to who he was. It really takes a lot of honesty to be ourselves and not try to be like everyone just because we're different. Sometimes it's really hard to believe that you are worthy and that your talent matters and that you matter when there are people around you who tell you differently. There are many grandfather teachings that stood out to me in this book, but a few of them are honesty and courage. Dancing Raven was honest and courageous and brave for staying true to himself. It also reminds me of today's fruit of the Spirit, goodness. Goodness means doing what we say we are going to do and being the best that you can be because you know who you are and how you were created to be. You use all the gifts you have been given. Our Creator God has a son named Jesus, and he showed goodness all the time when he showed love to people who didn't love him. We can show goodness too by living with respect for everyone around us, including nature. Goodness is all around us, and by knowing who we are and living honestly and courageously to stand tall, we can show others how God, our Creator, wants us to live and bear fruit. Tune in tomorrow to learn more about another fruit of the Spirit. Here's a hint. It has 12 letters in it. Alright, that wasn't a great hint, but I gotta go because Sarah R. has an interesting activity for us now. See you soon!
Hey guys, it's Sarah R. and today we'll be making 3-ingredient mood sand. The materials are shown on the screen and the activity will be linked below. In a medium-sized bowl, add 2 cups of cornstarch. Next, measure out 3 cups of shaving cream. Then add it to the bowl. Mix, mix, mix. And add more shaving cream as needed and mix until you get a crumbly texture. Finally, add your choice of food coloring for the different colors and mix. Tip: to get a more even color, add the food coloring to the shaving cream before adding it to the bowl. And you're done! Send us pictures of your moon sand and what you make with it. Bye guys!
Great job everyone, and give yourself a round of applause if you made it to the end of the video. Be sure to check out tomorrow's video to see what that 12-letter word is, and don't forget to spread goodness so that you can bear fruit.